भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। சரி, ஓகே. योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। कुमार योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम राम राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम राम राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम राम राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम राम राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम राम राम, राम 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 राम, राम 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 राम, राम राम राम। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, രാമ 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 Rama 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 जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ रत्कुमार योगीनाथ रत्कुमार योगीनाथ रत्कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ रत्कुमार योगीनाथ रत्कुमार योगीनाथ रत्कुमार जय गुरुराय Rama भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। By the gracious blessing of Bhagavan, we have been able to continue this session of singing his powerful name during the evening twilight, a very auspicious time for worship, for any sadhana. We should know it is no small grace, and in celebration of this, with deep gratitude, we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. By his grace, again, we have been going through some of the stories that we either read out to Bhagavan from different magazines or the stories told by himself to all of us to make a point. Here is one more story which I read out from Kalyana Kalpataru, a magazine from Gorakhpur. A very beautiful story which accentuates a very important point for the sadhaks, for all people in general and sadhaks in particular. This is from Bhagavata Purana. Bhagavan made us read the story again and again and again, which would end up with his cascading laughter, uproarious, thunderous laughter. He enjoyed it so much, and so let's see what this has to tell us. According to Bhagavata Purana, there was this Ikshvaku dynasty, the dynasty of Sri Rama. And there was one Mandatha, a very popular, very famous king, whose son was Ambarish. This Ambarish was a great valorous king, and he was also famous for his piety, for his devotion to Mahavishnu. A great bhakta, in appreciation of his devotion to himself, Vishnu Bhagavan had given him his own powerful weapon, a fiery weapon known as Sudarshana Chakra. A very powerful weapon, only Mahavishnu could handle it. And for his part, King Ambarish did not put it to use in the war. Instead, he put it on a throne and worshipped it with great devotion. He also had the habit of observing fast during every Ekadasi, the 11th day of the month, meant for Mahavishnu. And those days, he would not take even a drop of water. It is nirjala upavas. Even without water, he would fast. And then the next day is Dwadasi, that is the 12th day, morning. There is a particular time before which he had to end the fast. That's also a ritual. And there is a condition that if they don't eat before the end of the time, they would lose the benefit of the previous day's fast. He was observing it successfully every time, But then one day, it was Vaikuntha Ekadasi day. Among the Ekadasi, this is the greatest, with special benefits, that one could straight away go to the world of Mahavishnu, Vaikuntha. So he observed it successfully, yes, as usual. And the next day morning, when the time came for his to break this fast, to have some breakfast. So, just at that time, Rishi Durvas entered his palace with 100 disciples. Rishi Durvas is a well-known figure in the Hindu mythology, the Puranas. He was very famous for his short temper. He would also immediately curse people without thinking. But he was no less a rishi for that. He was a great soul in his own right. In fact, they say that he was also an avatar. But then these avatars, in the Puranic times, they played certain roles to make a certain point to the mankind. It's called the Leelas. So one should not think any the less of Rishi Durvasa for the story. As soon as Rishi Durvasa landed at the palace of King Ambarish with his 100 disciples, King Ambarish's joy was boundless. He was very, very happy because to receive a great soul, especially at the auspicious time of ending the fast, was considered as a great punya. So Ambarish welcomed him with great joy and with all honors, which pleased Rishi Durvasa. And then King Ambarish said, "O Munishwar, you are the king among the rishis. My joy knows no bounds by your visit to my palace. And this is a very auspicious time for ending this fast of Ekadasi. Will you please have a feast with me? This is time to dine together. Please come. Please accept my invitation." Rishi Durvasa was very happy to see how hospitable the king was. And then he said, "Yes, but then we have to go to the river nearby, have a bath, and then come for food." So they went to the river and they took their own time to bathe and come out. 100 people plus Rishi Durvasa, you can imagine how much time it should have taken. It's all Leela. Rishi Durvasa took a long time before he came out. In the meantime, at the palace, King Ambarish was getting restless because the Vedic Brahmins around him said, "O king, what are you waiting for? The time has come. The Muhurta is passing, only few minutes more. You have to end up the fast. Otherwise you would lose the benefit of your Ekadasi fasting altogether. So please consider." King Ambarish said, "No, I cannot eat. We have a great honored guest with us, a great master, a great soul. I cannot leave him and have it on my own. I have to wait." But then the Vedic Brahmins urged him again and again and again, pressurizing him. But he stood his ground and said, "No, you see, this is not dharma to leave him out and end the fast." Then the Vedic rishis, very clever, very intelligent people, they found a way out. They said, you take this holy Tulsi Patra, I think it's called basil. You take just one leaf, which is very dear to the heart of Mahavishnu, and that would end your fast, and that's not a meal also. So this way, both conditions would be satisfied. King Ambarish thought about it, and he thought it was harmless, and what they said was right. So he just took one holy tulsi leaf and put it into his mouth. As soon as he put it into his mouth, Rishi Durvasa landed in the palace after his bath with all his 100 disciples. Now he knew instantly what the king did. He got so angry, he burst out, saying, King Ambarish, King Ambarisha, what have you done? Don't you know that you have to wait for the guest? How can you end your fast? By taking tulsi leaf? This is not dharma. You have not treated me well, with respect. Now I am going to give you a curse. Now King Ambarish, he was a very highly evolved soul, very, very devoted to Lord Vishnu, and his devotion has prepared his mind very well for meeting such situations. So in all humility, with folded hands, he stood there before Durvasa, ready to take any curse that would fall upon him. Though he tried to explain that, Munishwar, I have not had any food. I've been waiting for you to come. I only took one tulsi leaf because the Brahmins insisted. Please come with me. We'll go have a sumptuous feast now. But Rishi Durvasa would not listen to him. He was still very much carried away by his anger. And then, as was his wont, he just pulled out a hair from his head and then transformed it into a demoness, a demon, and then said, O demon, here is a man who deserves punishment for what he did. Now you beat him up as much as you want. Now King Ambarish was ready for any punishment because by nature he was very humble. He felt really that he probably committed a mistake by listening to the Vedic Brahmins, and so it was only what he deserved and he was ready for it. With folded hands, he just stood there in all humility. But then Sudarshana Chakra, the powerful weapon of Mahavishnu, which he had been worshipping for years, would not keep quiet. Sudarshana Chakra is a Devata by himself. And the Devata had accepted his worship all along. And of course, the master is Mahavishnu. And with Mahavishnu's order, Sudarshana Chakra started to wheel. And fires came out of it. Burning fire came out of it, and it immediately burnt the demon into ashes. And then it started to move towards Rishi Durvasa himself. Now suddenly, Rishi Durvasa realized the predicament he was in. He didn't know how to escape it because what was coming was that fiery weapon of Mahavishnu. It would not leave without finding its target, like Ramabana. It would never miss its target. Now Rishi Durvasa started to run. So as he ran, the chakra also followed him. Wherever he went, the chakra would follow him, keeping just a little distance. And then he knew there was no escape at all, that his life was at stake. He ran to Kailash and appealed to Lord Shiva. Please, please, Pahimam, Pahimam. Save me, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, with folded hands, said, Hey Munishwar, I am helpless in this aspect because the weapon that's chasing you is no less than Sudarshana Chakra. It belongs to Mahavishnu. I have no right to interfere in this matter. Now, Rishi Durvasa went to Brahma and other devatas one after the other, but everybody said they could not interfere in this matter. Finally, he had no other go but to go to Vaikuntha, to Mahavishnu himself. He cried and cried his heart out, realizing his mistake, and then he begged Mahavishnu to forgive him and save him from this weapon of his. Mahavishnu said, even I am powerless before this because this is the rule. Sudarshana Chakra is obeying the rule. I have no right to interfere. But there is one way out for you. If you want to escape, you go back to Ambarisha himself. You fall at his feet and apologize. If he forgives you, then Sudarshana Chakra can be stopped. Just see how situations build up. Nobody can escape the law of karma, which is relentless. Even the avatars are not spared. Now King Durva, by then 1 year, 365 days had gone. Now he entered the palace of Ambarisha and fell at his feet, saying, O king, please forgive me. I made a terrible mistake by throwing that curse at you, by insulting you. Please forgive me. Ambarisha, you know what he was doing? Just as Durvasa left him 1 year before, standing there with folded hands, Ambarisha continued to stand in the same place, and he had not eaten any food, he had not taken any liquid also, any drink. He just stood there with folded hands for 1 year, as though he was in great tapasya. Now, as soon as Rishi Durvasa fell at his feet, Ambarisha immediately, in all humility, stopped him, saying, Munishwar, what are you doing? I'm an ordinary being. I'm only a devotee of Vishnu. Whereas you are Munishwar, you are the king among the rishis. How can you do this? Please don't fall at my feet. So as soon as he said that, Rishi Durvasa said, no, only if you forgive me, the Sudarshana Chakra can be stopped. So you see that? It's right behind me, ready to behead me. Please save me. Then Ambarisha prayed in all humility to Sudarshana Chakra. And you know what he said? If I have the same love and respect for this Munishwar here, which I had before he gave me the curse, if I still have the same love and same respect for him as I had last time when he landed here before he gave me the curse, oh Sudarshana Chakra, please stop it. What a soul! To say that for 1 year, with the same love for Durvasa who gave that atrocious curse, the same respect, he stood there in the same spot, transfixed. And now he says, he declares that he still has the same love and same respect for him, no matter what he did. So Sudarshana Chakra became quiet and then went back to Mahavishnu. Now, the moral of the story, Bhagavan said, when he heard all this, there were tears in his eyes, but also he was laughing so much. He was laughing and laughing and laughing. The peals of laughter, typical of him. He said, you see Devaki, you see Devaki. And he laughed and laughed and laughed. And then he said, what is the moral of the story, Devaki? Read. And then it was written at the end of the story that God would forgive people who insult him, but he would never forgive people who insult his devotees, his genuine devotees, that they would be given the punishment they deserve for it. So the moral of the story is, do not find fault with any devotee. Do not burst out in anger, cursing people, especially great devotees of God. Then even gods cannot save you. Such is the glory of a genuine devotee of the Lord. And as soon as they read out, again Bhagavan started to laugh. You see Devaki, the Leela, the teaching, and again he burst out laughing. So let us all absorb the teaching. The story accentuates that we should never attempt, not even attempt, to find fault with the devotees of the Lord. Especially get angry and curse. We should never do that, because immediately Sudarshana Chakra will follow us and we would lose our head. Even God or Guru cannot save us from the punishment. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again and again, 1,000,000 times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the world of violence. So much violence all around and growing enmity between people and people. Again, it's also a kind of Sudarshana Chakra, following people. Because one day or the other we have to face the punishment. And that is why we have the sudden attacks of these cruel diseases and vicious furies of nature. It's all because of the adharma that's going on in the world. But then Bhagavan, out of your compassion and generosity, you, the cosmic controller, could bring forth harmony, peace, unity, and growing friendship and brotherhood, mutual help and understanding, and above all, the control over the diseases and the furies of nature. We beg you again to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world of violence. We also beg you to reach out to those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other, unable to find help or protection. They might belong to different countries, speak different languages, and embraced different religions. Whatever, we beg you to do the needful. We also beg you to protect all those unselfish people who have been slogging for the sake of the others from undeserved reproaches and aspersion. We beg you again to promote the economy of the country and the growth of the country in varied fields of activity, which include science, technology, arts, and culture, and above all spirituality, that India reaches that status, the status of the world teacher, to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma as predicted by the great masters. We also pray to you in all earnestness and sincerity for ceaseless chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your teachings and leelas, that they may become our Atma Shakti. We should be able to assimilate it and convert it into Atma Shakti. We beg you again to bless us all to be sattvic instruments in your hands, and that we run our life, everyday life, as an offering to you. And Bhagavan, please bless us so that we be never caught by the temptations of Maya. Once you fall into the pit of Maya, we do not know how long it would take to come out of it. We seek that ultimate state of bliss and peace, but then we need to be purified. We take refuge in your powerful Nama and ceaseless chanting of it with joy, so that it would once again promote our Atma Shakti. And we also take refuge in joyful service. Whatever work falls into our hand and wherever we live, be it a home or a forest or an ashram or a temple, any work that falls into our hand, be it small or big, we should do it without any unhealthy competition and jealousy, and that in the spirit of surrender to you, and that we should do joyfully. Then again, it would promote our Atma Shakti. And above all, please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow. Coming from you, it can only be a great blessing meant for our spiritual progress and for our greater good and closer kinship with you. As we get more and more purified, we should be able to detect that living, vibrant, pulsating presence of the Lord everywhere and in everything. And Bhagavan, please bless us to be able to see your sankalpa, your will behind all the happenings of life, all the happenings of the world. And more importantly, we should be able to detect that hidden grace of yours even in the most disastrous experiences of life. Instead of collapsing when there is a sudden attack of some past karma playing up, instead of losing our balance and putting the blame on everyone for our own failures, and of course resenting God Himself and moving away from Him, we should realize that we have invited all the adversities of life by our own past karmas. One single word of praise for somebody will come back to you one day as a word of praise from someone else in a different situation. And one word of abuse, be sure, would also come back to you one day, especially in your vulnerable moment. The law of karma is relentless. So let us learn to be grateful to Bhagavan even for the adversities of life. For did he not say that those who chant his name and do his service, his Father would convert all the difficulties into great blessings? And Bhagavan, we seek your blessings even for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of being they are, in whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek that liberation, redemption from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, for which we need to be free from the tyranny of the ego, the I and mind that rule all our lives, all the time. We who have been seeking only solutions for our endless problems of life, seek now dissolution of this ego, which is the root cause of all evils in the world, so that we be blessed with that immortal life, that eternal living and eternal servitude to you, that supreme cosmic power. Jai Yogiram Sarat Kumar.